need to unmute. You'll need to unmute your mics. Okay, here we are. Conscious healthy aging core aspects. So we're looking at our reason for being as being a core aspect, central core aspect. Then we're looking to see how we're going to align our heart and our conscious mind with our reason for being. And then caring for our physical body. And we're looking at essential lab assessments. And you're working as a health practitioner, I've realized there are some essential lab assessments that are excellent to keep track of while we age, that can help prevent, you can say, strokes or heart attacks, as well as other things. Looking at lifestyle choices, Carol's been reading a book called Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg to see how we can actually make choices and abide by those choices on a consistent basis. And then natural support a lot in terms of, say, nutritional support, supplementation, as well as other things to help keep us well as we age. And then playing. Now, ultimately, upper three, it's to play our integrated vital part with others. And really, that you can say the essence of why we should be healthy is to play our part, our individual part. Now, we want to go a little bit deeper. I know I've shared this picture with you before. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper. And again, the idea behind these sessions, it'll be a review of what some of you have already been exposed to, but also it'll be going a little bit deeper during our sessions. So if we look at it in terms of this, our conscious mind, your conscious mind, my conscious mind awareness is filtered from the state of our heart. So as we keep our heart oriented in a way, again, aligning our hearts, we'll be talking about how heart math plays a part and how other things too, how our heart can stay aligned. But then as it's aligned, it allows for, you can say, our conscious awareness to be filtered from that aligned heart. But when our heart is not aligned, I'm sure we've all had the experience when our heart is not aligned, the thoughts that we may have, you can say the turmoil or the confusion that can happen, then we can see, okay, what does it take to keep our heart aligned? So what filters in our conscious awareness can be something that's sound and sure. So let's look at it in terms of this. I came across a quote by Deepak Chopra, Deepak Chopra, and he was talking about viewing time as a code that the timeless uses for specific purposes. The timeless, you can say the light that we are, the reason for our being, the specific nature of our individual, you can say essence. Code, the timeless nature of, you can say, our spiritual essence for specific purposes that we brought into the world now to transmit a specific message. So if you look at it in terms of that, but then that might be kind of nebulous because it's kind of above the conscious awareness of our mind. But if we look at it in terms of the discoverers of the code of time are the most tenderhearted. So we can back up a little bit. You know, when we start to realize a greater purpose in our life, it takes a tender heart. And you can say when our heart is oriented to that which is tender, you know, looking at Robert's flowers in the background, the dianthus there, or communing with something in nature, you can say the precious nature of things we see in nature that allows our heart to be kind of softened. When we cultivate that, it allows for a awareness to come into our conscious awareness, but it also takes an earnestness in terms of being tenderhearted and earnest. So I think of, you know, for those who are biblically inclined, I think of Samuel, how earnest and receptive, tenderhearted he was to God. And then at the same time, it wasn't a mushy tenderheartedness, but it was like an earnest. And the strength of character through his earnest doing came through. So there was both a tenderheartedness and actually a backbone, a strength of character that allowed for him to realize the specific message he needed to send during that time. So you can think of other characters other individuals you may have known in the past or may know now that have that sensing. And for us to discover that, discover the sensing of our specific message. And you can say that specific message is a comprehensive message that is so comprehensive that it's beyond the actual overall comprehension of our conscious mind, but it's filtered. You can say day by day, step by step, moment by moment into our conscious awareness to allow for that specific message that we're here to bring into the world to be known and shared.